it all started in Morgantown, I guess, and being on the football team up there, I realized that I didn't want to live my life like everybody else that I'm seeing on the like a normal football player would live. And I was at a practice one day, and the FCA Chaplin was standing there, and I went up and talked to him, and he said, "I've never seen you before." It was like, I tell him it's like 6 months into the season, or a couple months into the season, and he goes, "No, like we got to tell the story," and he's like, no, it was only like a couple weeks. I'm like, dude, it was like 2 months at least. And he gets on to me about that, but he had never introduced himself to me. So we were talking, and he said, "Come to FCA," and I was like, well, why not? What else am I doing on Monday nights? I'm a new college student, so try it out. So I go to this FCA and start liking it. I like the people. They're real caring and loving people, and I just kept going to that. I started going to that religiously and meeting with, well, his name's Josh. I started meeting with Josh one-on-one because I told him, I said, I really like this FCA. I want to learn more about it. So he said he'd meet with me one-on-one. So we started meeting one-on-one, and he kept sharing with me, you know, the love of God and the relationship I can have with Him. And if I pursued it, you know, what's waiting there for me, I just have to take it. He kept telling me this. And one day we met, it was probably like the fourth time we met. He said, "I think you're ready." I was like, "For what?" He was like, "To accept God into your heart." I was like, "No, I'm not ready." I was like, "I'm not good enough for this." He said, "It's not about how good you are right now." He said, "It's about accepting Him now and making changes in your life in the future." And I was like, you know what, I'm kind of scared to do this, you know, because there's not a lot of people that do that and follow God in the situation that I was in. But I was like, all right, well, let's do it. So I accepted God into my heart that day, and I haven't really looked back since. I slowed down here and there, but I pray to God, and He brings my spirit back up to keep moving towards Him in that way. And I really thank God for Josh, you know, because he brought me to the Lord. He was obeying the Lord's, you know, call to save me, and so that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
The hardest part is being around all the darkness, and a lot of people see, you know, you're on TV playing football. It's great. It's awesome, and everyone's like all happy and thinking like everything's great with your life, but they don't see behind the scenes. And it really is tough because there's a lot of darkness going around in the football team, and in the locker room, it's really hard to be the light. Well, I think any time hearing God's word is great. You know, that's one of the main reasons I come here. But another reason would be to see the love of everybody. They really have an open heart to everybody who comes here, and everybody wants to know how you're doing, how things are going. They don't really want to talk to you about football, and that's a lot of what I get. I like people asking, "Hey, how are you doing today? Like, are you doing good?" Okay, I'm glad. Like, I like having conversations like that, not about, well, how's the team look this year? You know, those conversations are great. I get that a lot, but you know, I like the people here because they all care about you, and they really want to know how you're feeling. I've been working to get, you know, other believers on the football team to come together and start a team chapel, and we started meeting this summer and going over the Tony Dungy's book. I think it's called Uncommon.
Yeah.
We started going over that and chapter by chapter about how it is to be a man and to do it through God, because He's a very strong believer. So we started pouring into that, and then next thing we know, we have, well, me and Josh, he's my FCA leader, we have six other football players coming to this thing with us. And two of them accepted Christ in their heart within 2 weeks of when I got back from that camp. You know, there was tons and tons of prayers, and I thank everybody there for praying for West Virginia University. But there was tons of prayers, and look what God has done. You know, He spread that out on the football team, and now there's 3 to maybe even 6 of us that might be living their life for God and trying to be leaders.